Right, let's get crack-a-lacking. Let's just crack on and see. I came back on the camera at 4:44. Let's crack on. Guys, I've got a bit of a light bulb moment. Last night while I was lying in bed, I had a deep realization once again about how best the people, us, can go against this totalitarianism that we're seeing from our governments around the world. First, let me say, Hupa Neteru Menunuchayu Kamuna Lulbihu, peace to the ancestors, he, she, the Mother, Father, Creator, Spirit, who nothing exists except by way of Netru, the Mother, Father, Creator, Spirit. Okay, so I've got a few things to go through today as to how we can get out of the ruck that the world's in at the moment. So bear with me. Let me just pour a libation, make a prayer and pour a libation so that the ancestors, the spiritual ascendants, can get involved in this little discussion that we're having. I'm going to read a prayer out of Leviathan 666, which is by Dr. Malachi York. Very powerful book. But I'm going to read a supplication to the source, who many of you call Yahweh or Yehoshua or Yahuwah or El Elah or Anu or Amun Ra. Okay, Barkalum. Yaheyu, Yaheyu, Antuf Menu Kalun El Elah. O he who is existing one. O he who is existing one. He who is the source. Nuk Ashedu Dek Nut, Shrayu, Sofu, Kawun Ith El Anuna Enki, Butem Khalukzi. I bear witness that nothing would exist if the Anunnaki Enki didn't create it. Nuk Ashedu Dek Nut Shrayu, Sofa, Kawun, If El Anuna Enki, Butem Khalukzi. I bear witness that nothing would exist if the Anunnaki Enki didn't create it. Nuk Ashedu Dek Kul El Nabuyatna. Waham Rasala Liya Faso El Ma'anu Athashil El Elohim Netrat Anunnaki. I bear witness that all our prophets and those sent to explain the meaning are of the angelic beings. Nuk Ashadu Dek Kul El Nabuyatna Waham Rasala Liya Faso El Ma'anu Athashil El Elohim Netrat Anunnaki. I bear witness that all our prophets and those sent to explain the meaning are of the angelic beings. Fa besura ila el zakrani, shil el ilo. So hasten to the remembrance of the source. Fa besura ila el zakrani, shil el ilo. So hasten to the remembrance of the source. Fa basura ila el buruth. So hasten to the covenant. Fa asu li el baruth. So hasten to the covenant. Yahayu, Yahayu, antuf menu kalun el ilo. He who is, oh he who is the source. Henachzu nutbaru lalul Yahayu Elohim. There is no maker except Yahweh Elohim. Amun. So I ask the ancestors today to accept this libation, to enter into our discussion. I pour salutations of praise and gratitude to all the ancestors who came before me. and was on a similar fight against spiritual wickedness. Those who came and did their utmost so that we might prosper today. Ashe. I bear witness to all the ancestors whose names was forgotten, who did big works on the planet Earth, and today we don't remember them. Today I remember you, even if not by name. Ashe. I bear witness to the will of humanity and the well-being of Mother Earth, and that we shall achieve the overthrowing of this spiritual wickedness in the name of the Most High. Anu Elyoin Elyoinen. Ashe. I bear witness to the power in each and every one of us as children of the Neteru, that we will unite, even the remnant of us will unite, and we will access our powers, and we will do everything in our utmost power to see this through to the end and have a victory and a happy ending. Ashe to the ancestors. Amen. Yes, so I wanted to talk about the main thing that we should be doing or should be considering right now in terms of plugging out of this matrix, of this evil control grid. And I'm going to start simply like this. The only thing we need to do as society, as humanity, is to throw away the smartphones. Yeah? A lot of people won't be able to do that. Simply put, we have become so addicted to these smartphones, we cannot do anything without them. We can't even go in the toilet, go and sit on the toilet and have a shit without taking your smartphone with you. You can't go and have a meal without taking your smartphone with you. You can't watch TV without checking your notifications on your smartphone constantly to see who's liked what picture, who's commented on what. You understand? We've become so addicted to these devices that the powers that be, the PTB, they're relying on the fact that we're so addicted to these devices that we won't be able to put them down. Now, this whole new scamdemic, Orwellian totalitarianism is pivoted on smart devices and your smartphone. So if you can't get rid of your smartphone, it doesn't matter if you're, and when I say get rid, I mean, you can still use a smartphone, but being totally obsessed with these smart devices, taking them everywhere every living, breathing breath, everywhere you go, you're taking it with you. That has to stop. You understand what I'm saying? Big tech know how addictive their devices are and the internet is in terms of social media. They make their devices more and more and more addictive because they need these smart devices to plug you in to this new age totalitarianism, this new age digital control grid. They need you to have your phone in your pocket, to pay for everything with your phone, to keep scrolling and have more and more and more and more screen time because there's an effect to it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we have to stop relying on the mobile phone for everything. And I'm talking about smart tablets and stuff too, anything digital, yeah? Because they rely on mine and your addiction, yeah? How much time we're giving to these digital devices that we've been given, because even though we've paid money for them, it's basically free. They just threw it in our face for free. Big tech and its gadgets. How did we survive before? Before we had any Facebook, before we had any YouTube or Instagram or smart devices or smartphones, we have to go back to how we were surviving before. And I'm talking about in the days of Motorola and Nokia. The full stop is we're going to have to give them back these smart devices. It may be a good idea to go back to the analog phones, the phones that are not smart. Phones like your Nokias and your Motorola StarTechs and stuff, where you can't be tracked, yeah, by your digital footprint. Bin your smart device. If you don't bin it, leave it at home. Go outside your house without it, okay? Because information is the new gold currency. All of these big tech, all of these big platforms, they make money off trading your information. Your information is gold to them. They get paid off of trading your information without your consent. We need to stop putting all our information on these forms. When we're filling out forms and they're asking us irrelevant questions, like what race are you? Oh, it's just so we can figure out what background, how to deal with certain backgrounds and all of that type of stuff. That's bullshit. We need to stop giving them information, especially when you go online. Everything you sign up for online, they want your information. Like I told you, information is gold. And the catch for using any of these smart devices or social media is for them to pull all of your information out of you, yeah, so they can make money off it and they can trade it among different companies and stuff. Okay, so the fact is we need to get away from these smartphones, man. The smartphones is what's locked us into this current reality, if you want to call it that. Okay, that's something for us all to think about. All of us are spending more time than we need to on Instagram or Facebook or WhatsApp or Telegram, social media in general, on this digital stuff, and we're leaving a digital footprint with every activity that we do online. Somebody is tracking you, somebody is recording all your activities, and somebody is making money off you by trading your information to different companies without your knowledge. So the only solution going forward, and many of us won't be able to do it, is to get rid of the smartphone. If not get rid of it, master it. Leave it at home. Go outside your house without a smartphone. Do you understand? If people need to ring you or whatever, you can ring them when you get back to your house. But the phone should be used for calls. We're now using the phone for everything in our life, and it's wrong. It's made us dependent. It's made us dependent not on the phones, but on the system. Yeah. Once your money starts coming through your phone and you're doing all this online banking and paying for stuff on your phone and stuff, you're already locked in the system because now it's your means of payment. You can't go nowhere without it, or you have no money. Separate that. Go back to paying for stuff cash in hand, or taking money out the ATM and going and paying for your stuff. Do you understand? And I'm not saying paying for stuff online is not, you know what I mean, like you can't do it, but it comes with a catch. I want you to realize that it comes with a catch. And every time you do a transaction online, or you do anything online, you're leaving a digital footprint with a load of information that they can capitalize off for control and for gain. They can make monetary gains, like we've seen what happened with Facebook when they got caught trading everybody's information without letting their users know. Next, bartering. In order for us to go back to this old way of interacting as humans, we have to take it back further than the smart devices. We have to go back into the monetary system, and how before we used to have bartering networks based on goods and services and demand. So if you've got goods like a product that you create or you manufacture, you can use that as a trade, yeah? Or if you've got services, things you can do that people need, like you're a carpenter, you can build a shack, you can build a shed. You know what I'm saying? There's that you've got to identify what your services are and what your goods are if you do manufacture goods or produce products, yeah? And use that, yeah, as a bartering network, as a bartering tool, yeah? So all of us have to come together in the form of, okay, we need to create our own economies in our communities. So if somebody grows food, everybody has to identify, okay, this guy's got vegetables, he grows all of his own food. This person over here, they make clothes. This person over here, like I told you, that's a carpenter. Each one of these people can use their expertise to get something that they don't have. Like I can trade you some vegetables for some clothes. You understand what I'm saying? Or I could bill you a shed. This is what I'm gonna want. I'm gonna need some rice, I'm gonna need some vegetables, I'm gonna need some, you know what I'm saying? We need to go back to that. It sounds old fashioned, but I'm telling you, that's where Mother Earth is trying to take us back to. First, you gotta get rid of them smartphones or master them and be able to leave them at home and not be so dependent on them. Second, you gotta break out of this monetary system, whether it's Bitcoin, crypto, credit cards, debit, whatever. Do you understand? It's a form of control, okay? Gaming, online gaming, especially when it comes to the children, we need to be cutting them out of this. I'm not saying they can't play games like PlayStation and stuff like that, but we need to stop letting the children obsess with gaming, especially when it comes to the online community where they can be playing and their friends are involved in the game and people they don't know from all over the world. They're networking into this game and now they're being stimulated like it's something real. So when time for the metaverse comes now, that's an easy gateway drug for them. They've already got the gateway drug, which is your PlayStation and your Xboxes and all of this Pokemon Go, all of this digital stuff, VR, all of this stuff. That's the gateway drug, like how they say marijuana is a gateway drug for cocaine. The gateway drug for the metaverse is social media. The gateway drug for social media was smartphones, just doing your FaceTime, what was it called? Skype, yeah, and FaceTime. More and more we got into that, is the more we're ready to accept social media. It's the same with social media. The more time we spend on the screen with these Facebooks and these YouTubes and whatever, is the more we're going to be willing to step into this metaverse, which is like an upgraded social media. So when it comes to the children, you need to start monitoring their gaming. Do you understand what I'm saying? Don't let them spend the whole day playing these games. And these games mess up their attention span anyway, their focus and their attention span. It can turn them psycho and psych them out. And that's another form of addiction, gaming addiction. That's one of the worst addictions, that digital addiction. Cut your computer time, not only yours, but cut the computer time of your children. Yeah? Social media now, and even with people, the conscious community, and we're using it to spread knowledge and whatnot, and that's all good, that's fantastic. But I want y'all to understand something. Researching on social media is shortcut research, and there ain't no shortcuts to research. Yeah. Why I say it's a shortcut research is because it has to cut down your research time. Like if you was watching a documentary away from social media, or you was deep in between the lines of a book, your research time would last longer than you researching online. Why? Because you've got a lot of misinformation online, and you've got a lot of ego online from social influencers and content creators. And also, when you're online, like let's say you're on Instagram and you're scrolling and you see a good post, some conscious knowledge, the next post you might see might be a woman with her ass out. So it's a whole bunch of distractions, or you might see some violence or some stupid stuff. So it's not consistent. You're gonna have to filter through, you understand? Stop using social media as your, I'm talking about Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, in the form of scrolling. Stop scroll researching, because that's a waste of time, and it has the wrong chemical reactions in your brain when it comes to learning. There's a reason why they've set it up like that, and why all of them have got the same kind of structure, whether it's your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram. If you check, they've all kind of got the same kind of setup. Even though some might be able to do different things other than other apps, they got the same platform, the same structure. Do you see what I'm saying? So yeah, that shortcut research, that scrolling research through your Instagram and Facebook, like this, like that, comment here, comment there, that's not real research. Get into your real research. Get offline. Yeah, even if it's an hour at a time, like you have an hour, even if it's one day out the week, you spend an hour like on a Sunday today and say, yo, I'm locking off the phone, I'm jumping in a book, or I'm gonna sit down and watch this documentary through to the end. I'm not gonna become distracted. Do you see what I'm saying? There's no shortcuts to research. And some people, they want to come and question you, especially when you're someone like me. Oh, what do you think about the Anunnaki returning in this time or that time? That's for you to research. I'm not saying you can't ask me, but I'd like you to ask me, I'd like you to present me with what you think first. Well, I've researched this Anunnaki thing, yeah? And I believe the Anunnaki, I'm just giving you an example, are coming back in 2030. They're going to interact in 2030. But you see this document here, this is saying something totally different. I don't mind engaging with that person, because I know they've already begun and started their research, and they're sharing it with me, what they feel about it. But don't just go and ask questions to people. Oh, do you think the Anunnaki are coming back in 2022? Because a lot of people, whatever you tell them, they take that as their research. And that's another shortcut, because now they feel like they don't have to research because they trust Jedef Ray or whoever else said this online. Now they don't have to really go and spend that couple hours digging into that and putting it in their own mental court of law, and becoming the judge by themselves. Forget what Jedef Ray says, forget what he says, forget what she says. What do you say? When you look at this properly, sit down with it and scrutinize it. Yeah? So there's a lot of people who are trying to use other people for their research. They're trying to have a shortcut. There's no shortcuts in research. Do you understand? It's ongoing. It's a lifelong process. Okay? Books, reading. That is key, man. Read more books than Facebook. And there's a certain blessing when you read by candlelight. And that's to do with the same, what I'm telling you about all this digital stuff. Our lights, artificial. We've got artificial digital devices. All the information and stuff that we're taking in is now becoming some kind of artificial, electric, digital stuff. You understand? A book and a candlelight, yeah, is key, yeah, to opening that pineal gland, yeah. And let me say this: the final frontier is the mind, yeah, because we're in a mental universe, and all is mental from the mind of the all, yeah. The final frontier is the mind. When they're saying that space is the final frontier, and you see them sending all these rockets to space and that, let me tell you this: the universe is the mind of God. So when you see them going up there, they're going into your mind. That's the final frontier, the mind. Not up there, so above, so below. It looks that way on this duality that we live on, which is a 3D illusion or holographic simulation. Do you understand? But there's no space outside of your mind. Space is your mind because you're part of the all. Do you understand? So the last frontier is the mind, not space, externalized, internalized your mind. Because when you become present, presence and space is the same thing. When you create space in your mind, you become present. You're clearing away all of that clutter, all of that relentless conversation that keeps going on in your head. Once you get past that and you clear away stuff and you make room, you make space, you become present. And present in the form as a gift. Do you understand what I'm saying? So yeah, the universe is the mind of God. So above, so below. So within, so without. A lot of humans today are what I would consider now, Elon Musk says this, androids. That's why most of these phones are called androids, the ones that are not Apple. Android phones. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because what that's saying to you is they've made us into androids. Because like I was saying earlier, our phone now has become a part of us. Most of us can't do nothing without a phone. If you went to work and forgot your phone, you'd panic. You wouldn't sit at work all day without your phone. You'd try and figure out some way to rush home to grab your phone because your whole life's on your phone. Okay? So those people are what I call androids. It's not the phone that's an android. You are the android. You who obsessed with this phone and take it everywhere you go with you like it's part of your body. Like if you can't leave it just to go and have a shit. Do you know what I'm saying? And then the cyborgs, what I call cyborgs, are the people where you're seeing they're having like merging themselves with computers, having chips put in them, having bionic eyes or bionic hearing, whatever the case may be. We're in an era now of androids and cyborgs. And the androids are the people who are obsessing over their phones and the screen time and the digital world, yeah, and anticipating the metaverse and all of this stuff. They're always online. They give more screen time to time in nature. Most of their day is spent in the screen. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's never good. That cannot be good for human beings. There's no other animal on the planet that spends so much time giving their attention to some artificial stuff. They don't need it. Do you understand? Even if they had the capacity to use it, they don't need it. We don't need it. Do you understand? It was given to us to tame us, to control us. It wasn't given to us for our amusement, because Mark Zuckerberg and them thought, oh, yo, I love when human beings are happy and using this social media. They never gave it us for none of that stuff there. They gave it us as a form of control, as a form of taming us. Yeah? All of that stuff, social media, internet, if you're not careful, it will entrap your consciousness, because that's what it's designed to do. It's not designed to empower you. It's not designed to give you information that you can't go get anywhere else. That's us doing that. We're specifically using it to do that, but it wasn't designed for that. You understand? They don't care what you use it for, as long as their objectives being met, which means it's making you dependent. It's making you dependent on that device and everything that comes behind that device, like the monetary system and the credit system and all your banking details and all of that stuff. They made us dependent on this stuff because, yeah, they wish to entrap your consciousness into something that's mechanical, i.e. the metaverse, yeah? So they're setting up a post-human mechanical world. This world that we're going into, on their side, what they're trying to bring in, yeah, is not going to be set up for no humans like me and you, okay? It's set up for mechanical humans, robotoids, yeah, androids, cyborgs, yeah? And they don't want, at no cost, for us to go back to an Edenic way of seeing things where it's abundant. There's enough for everyone. We don't need none of this industry that we see going around now with cosmetics and this consumer-based economy where everyone's a consumer and buying shit they can't even afford or they don't even need. Okay? They're setting up a post-human mechanical world. Now, I want you to imagine something. Imagine when this earth first started. I'm talking about in the ancient days, all those beautiful temples, all the beautiful organic, holistic spirituality, all the artwork and stuff that went into building up the former world. Do you know how magical this earth was? It was like a magical, enchanted garden, yeah, that foul spirits, yeah, or disagreeable beings came down here and locked it all off. That Edenic, magical, enchanted garden, they locked it off. And what they used to lock it off was rules and regulation, yeah? The triad. First it's school, yeah, obey or you get punished. Then it's the law, follow the law or you go to jail. Politics, and then it's religion, yeah? Obey God or you're going to get punished in hell. So they use this fear-based system, this fear-based doctrine of rules and regulations in society, in school, and when you come out of school and you're in society working and stuff, and also inside a religion, inside your way of thinking, so they colonize your mind, yeah? And I want you to know that the God they're talking about in these religions, not necessarily the scriptures was talking about the Anunnaki, but the way they swiveled it and turned it around. The God they speak about when they're coming from their institutions, they're telling you about gold, oil, and diamonds. Yeah? G-O-D. Gold, oil, and diamonds. That's the man-made God. You understand? So when you see on the American dollar bill, in God we trust, they're telling you they trust in gold, oil, and diamonds, and they'll come to your country, bomb the hell out of you, just to take that gold, oil, and diamonds. That's their God. Do you understand? So God didn't make man, yeah? Man made God, because God isn't even one of our African words. Do you understand? So that whole concept of this bigger God, that came from them. So all of this smartphones, tablets, social media, internet, it messes with the way, I've said it before, we process information as human beings. The way we process information, the way we interact with each other, yeah, our concentration span, yeah, it's all a distraction to distract our attention and to lessen our focus and our concentration span, yeah. We don't process information the same no more. We don't give each other time to explain information no more because we feel like we can just Google it. We can just go ask Google and find out anything we want. So I don't really have to listen to Jedefre, yeah, or the next man or the next woman, yeah. So we're not even giving each other any time no more because we're in this excess of information, this information overload. Even though nobody's studying it, few people are studying it, a lot of people take it as, okay, well, I can learn when I want. So I'm just not going to take in anything from anyone. You understand? I'm just going to stay in opinion. I'm not going to know anything, but I'm going to have an opinion about everything. I'm going to try and debunk everyone that hits an emotional chord in me when I have an emotional reaction. A lot of our people are like that. There's no research behind them. They don't take what you're saying. They don't even take information serious no more. It's thrown in your face. We're having an overload of it. The value of it's gone. So processing information has changed, yeah? Because now we're in the AI era of deep fakes, where they can generate human faces, humans that don't even exist. And you won't be able to tell that's a computer-generated image. You won't be able to tell that's an AI deep fake. When you look at that picture, that to you, that's a real human. That's a regular child or normal human being. So now they can create deep fakes. They can even create the exact replica of you and say, yo, you got that building over there. Jedefre ran up there, climbed up that tower, and you see it on the news. And then it's going to be hard to convince people, hold on, that weren't my man. That's a fake. Do you understand? But it's not just Photoshop no more. They can actually create these deep fakes. We're in that era right now. Okay. Shout out to Catherine from Australia. Stand up Australia, we're proud of you, yeah? The ones that are fighting back. And Catherine told me she feels like they're being blasted with graphene oxide and frequencies. And I told her I feel it like the same in England, like here, we being microwave. There's a frequency war, which I've been speaking about since I published Coronation last year, talking about how they're using microwave frequencies and different frequencies to blast certain areas of the population. They pick certain areas and certain groups of people, and they hit them with these frequencies and these microwaves. A lot of it's coming from her harp, a lot of it's coming from chemtrails, but the main part of it that's keeping this um, vibration in the planet at the moment is CERN. Because where we are in the planet at the moment and the photon belt, a lot of beings can't even exist on this planet no more. They have to leave. The vibration is too high. So what they're doing with CERN is they're trying to counteract that high vibration by lowering the vibration. So there's a constant tug of war going on, a battle, enough that certain beings can still be on this planet right now. They're hitting certain areas of the population with these frequencies and then telling you you've got variants, telling you you've got, I don't want to call the names, but you know what I mean, telling you you've got variants and you're sick. And really, people don't know they're being hit with frequencies, microwave frequencies, and I actually can prove this, yeah, due to the symptoms which people get when they're hit with these frequencies, especially these 5G frequencies, okay? So along with that bombardment of frequencies, you're having a bombardment of the media, yeah, which is targeting your interpretation of current events. They don't want you to analyze current events and be able to interpret it for yourself. So they want to tell you what to see and more importantly, what to think, because they have to, it's all coming out. So now they've reverted to, okay, when it comes out, let's just make our spin on it. Let's just spin it, spin it, spin it, spin it. So they got these media spin doctors. With every living story that we're revealed to, they already have a full explanation for it. Whether it's your Pandora papers, whether it's Zuckerberg and his Facebook blackout, do you understand? They want to whether it's UFOs and the Pentagon talking about UFOs and stuff, they want to tell you and dictate how you interpret that by using their word magic, yeah? The spells, where they're casting these spells in your broadcast. It's a broadcast, it's broad, but it's a cast, it's a spell. Do you understand? So they're using this TV, this television, and the mainstream old media news, yeah? And they're hitting us with this word magic. They're conducting rituals right on screen with words, yeah? And putting us under spells, yeah? When we tune into these stories and listen closely to what they're saying, yeah? It's a battle for hearts and minds going on. Like I said, the last frontier is not space, it's your mind. Do you understand? That space, that sacred space in your mind, that's what they're battling for, your heart and your mind, yeah? So don't just be a consumer in this society. Every advert is designed to make you spend money that you ain't got, so you can buy stuff that you don't need. Do you understand? And all of us are doing it. We're coming to a season now, this Christmas thing, yeah, where they want you to spend all your hard-earned money to the point where you're broke, just to uphold this false-ass Christmas. And a lot of us that are calling ourselves truthers, I had this conversation with one of my bedrooms earlier, shout out to little bro, and he was talking about he's going to save after Christmas. And I said to him, why are you going to save after Christmas? That means you're supporting Christmas. That means you're upholding this same negative energy, the same counterfeit ritual, yeah? So you're keeping that whole shit relevant. So you're going to celebrate Christmas knowing that the shit's counterfeit, and then after Christmas is done, you're going to go back to truth-telling and revealing conspiracy theories. That's some hypocrite shit, guys. Yeah? There's no excuse for none of you to be celebrating Christmas. And I don't care if you want to link it back to Horus and Egypt and all of that. We didn't call it Christmas. Our whole shit was something totally different. It just fell on the same day. And they stole a few principles and made it into their mistletoe thing, which is bullshit. None of us are supposed to be supporting that. There's no excuse that we can give ourselves to support that shit, because we know what it's all for. When we research into Taria and the electric grid and how our energy is the electric, and they feed off our energy in these sporting events, sports stadiums and music concerts and holidays like Easter and Christmas and Valentine's Day, they're feeding off our electricity, our energy. So if you therefore indulge in that system for whatever reason, then you're also a part of the problem. It doesn't matter how much conspiracies you want to post on your page or you want to speak about, you also are a part of the problem, okay? And you need to cut that shit out, yeah? Respectfully. Don't be a consumer. This is a consumer-based society, yeah? Which creates It uses demand as an illusion, because really and truly, if we was in abundance, we wouldn't need to be a consumer-based society. We wouldn't need all of this stuff. We'll find happiness with what we got already. Do you understand what I'm saying? So yeah, try and become operative. Like, have a skill, learn a skill, or have in your creative capacity, create something, a product, a service. You know what I'm saying? That you can use to become operative, to improve the awareness and the quality of life for those around you. Do you understand? Your loved ones. Speculative people are people who don't really have nothing to offer but an opinion. They don't provide a service for the community or for other humans, you understand, or for society. That's a speculative person, and there's nothing wrong with that. Do you understand what I'm saying? But a speculative person is a person that's going to find themselves having to depend on the government and the system, because they're not really functioning off their own initiative. Do you see what I'm saying? And also, you get a lot of people, I do, that go gym a lot, train, keep your body in shape, look nice, you know what I'm saying? But it would be nice to see the same effort being applied to emotional health and mental health and spiritual health, because all three of them are just as important as your physical health. Emotional health right now is being strained with this mental marathon that's going on. Emotional health is being strained. People are going through an emotional roller coaster ride. Also, mentally, mental health is through the roof right now, even down to the young generation. More and more teenage girls and teenage children are going in for mental health advice and mental health therapy and stuff. Mental health's gone through the roof right now. Your mental health right now is more important than your physical health, whether you're in shape in the gym or not. Being in shape is cool, and it also serves a purpose in keeping your immune system strong and all of that. But the same goes for your mental and your emotional health. If you're mentally in the right place, then your immune system's stronger. If you're depressed and stressed out and grief and all of that stuff, then you lower your vibration, which means you lower your your immune defense. You see what I'm saying? So your emotional health, your mental health, your spiritual health is just as important as your physical health and going gym to look nice. Okay? So I'm saying this to say, just put your phones down for a minute, man. Put your phones down for a minute. Go and listen to some chants, or do a meditation, or do a nature walk, or go to the shop without your phone. Yeah, do something without taking a picture about it. Keep the moment for yourself and for those who experience that moment for you. It's not every living thing you got to share on Facebook. We've become oversharers because we're so addicted. I've had to battle myself to get myself off this scrolling thing. I'm not going on like it's easy, like I don't have the problem. I have the fucking problem. I'm here telling you about it. And I have the same problem where I'm like, yo, today let me just stay off this Facebook thing, yeah? And still find myself on Instagram and Facebook and having to rip myself off, on, like, yo, this is crazy. So imagine what the children are going through. Their minds are not even as strong or developed as our minds as adults. And they've been given these devices, and then we wonder why the children of the youth have just changed. Do you understand? They don't even want to go outside and play no more. They just want to be in Fortnite or Grand Theft Auto. You understand? Or on their phone scrolling. Make your way back to yourself, man, without being an android. Put that android phone down. Yeah? Go back to being a human. You understand what I'm saying? Work with me here. I'm doing it. I'm fighting it every day. Yeah? Because the more we use social media, the less we gather. To the point where we don't even gather no more. Now they got the world in lockdown, it's a bit different. But even before that, we gathering less and less as families, as communities, as friends, because now we got the excuse of social media. We think that we can just send a text on social media or whatever, and it's the same like if you went and knock somebody's door and look for them and check on them and lay eyes on them to see how they look. Oh, you look in good health, you're looking really good, and have that energy trade-off. You understand? Put down the phones and go back to interacting, man. Checking up on each other. Yeah? And if you got friends that go quiet, don't just scold them for going quiet and disappear. Go and check on them. Yeah? Especially when they say they're all right. Oh yeah, I'm all right. Still go and knock their door. Put a day aside and say, I'm going to look for my man on this day to make sure he's okay. Because only your real friends can hear you when you're quiet. Do you understand? And a lot of us, especially men, we like to bottle shit up. We don't really like to Talk about it with people if we're going through problems or challenges or whatever. Check up on your friends, man. Don't just scold them because you ain't heard from them. You don't know what mental battle they're going through or what financial struggle they're going through or whatnot. Save your judgments, man. And if you're a real friend, then go and check on your friends, especially the ones who are putting themselves on the line to come and give you some jewels. We're shit friends as black people. Yeah? People want to know you when you got money or you got something going on for you. But as soon as you look quiet or withdrawn or you don't look like you've got money, don't no one give a shit no more. What kind of friendship is that? So I think that what the Mayans were talking about when they're saying the end of the world, I've said this before, they were speaking about the end of humanity. Humans are no longer human. And this is tied to what I'm saying about Android phones. We are the fucking androids now. We're not humans or Homo sapien no more. In my book, COVID 1984, I put down, well, we're now Homo sapien 2.0. We're digitized humans. Everything for us is to do with digital, and it's getting worse. People are implanting themselves with these devices. Yeah, man, so go and look for your friends, man. Face-to-face interaction with them. Go and lay eyes on them. Go and have that energy trade-off with them. Do you know what I mean? Have an active interaction. Put down this Facebook shit, man. Put down this video calling crap, man. And go and trade with that person. Your heart sends forth vibrations that when people meet up and interact, their auras are interlapping. You see what I'm saying? They gave us this smart technology because they anticipated all this lockdown shit. They knew it will come to a point where they don't want us to interact with each other. So they want us to use the smartphone devices as some kind of like alternative. It's not an alternative. Yeah. G.I. Joe Biden is having some kind of gathering talking about saving and preserving democracy, yeah? When everybody knows we ain't in no democracy right now. If anything, we're in a techno-democracy that's dealing with big tech and technocrats and their ability to change democracies or change societies with the way that they're using their platforms, like your Facebook and your Instagram and your phones and apps and Play Store and Google and Apple Pay and all. Yo, all of that shit there is made us into a techno-democracy. Facebook has a big influence on elections and everything else in society. Them NGOs, non-government organizations that we didn't elect, have more power than your presidents and your politicians. That's why they can silence Trump. And nobody can't do nothing about it. Whether it's the court or the judge or the Congress, nobody can't do nothing about it. Do you know what I'm saying? If the president can't do nothing about it on site, then who can do something about it? No one can do nothing about it. They're bigger than your government. They are your government. Creating space means becoming present. Space is the mind of the all. Your mind is a macrocosm in the microcosm. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're trying to colonize space, your mind, the rest of it. Yeah? And remember, the universe is a being in itself. I've said before. This universe, and there are many universes, the universes are the biggest beings in creation. They're beings, just like you got blood and platelets and white blood cells and electrons and neutrons and protons. Everything you see in the universe, you should see the same way as if you was to take a microscope and look inside the human body and see cells, atoms, protons, nucleus, electrons, quarks, Z's, biapertures, you know what I mean? Fermions, bosons, photons. That's the same with planets, stars, moons, satellites, dark matter, dark energy, dark flow. It's the same thing, so above, so below. You understand what I'm saying? So humanity died when we went into this smartphone era. Now we've become android humans. We're not the same humans that we were before. The Mayans say 2012. Some people think it means 2020. Yeah? Anyway, between that time, to me, that's right enough. We're no longer human. We want to act like androids, like robots, because we got these devices that we got to take everywhere. This device we love more than our spouse. We give it more protection, more looking after than anything else, than our loved ones, than our parents, and our spouse, and our children. It's crazy. So the universes are the biggest beings in creations. It's sort of like a Russian doll, like a smaller doll within the big one and a smaller one within that one. Do you see what I'm saying? It's a Russian doll business going on here. Yeah. Plug out of all of this bullshit, yeah? Plug out of your phone. If you're strong enough, get rid of it. Go back to your StarTech or your Motorola. Do you understand what I'm saying? Use it for necessity if you have to, like a phone was made to call people. Use it to call people. Stop using it for everything else, because they're hinging everything on the fact that you're going to use it as the way they want you to use it. They want you to use it a specific certain kind of way. Take it everywhere with you. Pay for things with it. Yeah? Online banking. Yeah? Add all these apps and spend loads and loads of screen time. Some of these companies record how much screen time we're spending on their apps, so they can find out ways to increase it and make it even more addictive. Yeah? Leave your phones at home. Go into nature without your phone. Go gym without your phone. Yeah? If you can. Yeah? Go back to the old school phones. If you just can't leave your phone at home, get an old school phone like a StarTAC or Motorola. They're cheap right now. Yeah? Leave all of that online stuff for your laptop or your computer when you come home. Assign an hour. Say, okay, I'm going to spend an hour on social media. Yeah? But, yo, monitor your time, man. Monitor your time on these devices and these apps, man. Don't just have a free-for-all every day and be lost in this chaos, because they're banking on it, that you won't discipline yourself and organize the way you utilize these things, these devices and these online apps and platforms and stuff. That's what I call pulling the plug. Yeah? Turn away from the excessiveness of all things. All of these toys that they give us. Let's stop the excessiveness with it. Let's stop using it excessively and use it for what it's meant to be used for, rather than letting it use us for everything in life. We're relying on these phones. Our ancestors didn't do that. They relied on their self. We are the technology. The biggest and the best technology is inside of your body, not in a phone. But people know more about their phone than they do about their own anatomy or the 9 parts of their own being. Get a laptop or a computer and leave all that social media shit and that scrolling shit for your laptop, and monitor how much time you spend on there. Assign, just like you have to do for meditation. You know what, I'm going to meditate an hour a day, let's say. Do the same with social media. We should be meditating 16 hours a day. Yeah? Make social media be the thing that only has an hour out of our time. Do you understand? All the good stuff, we assign an hour to it, or plan for it. On Sundays I do meditation or nature walk, or we should be doing that all the time. And then the social media should be the thing we're giving an hour to. Let me have an hour on YouTube, finding some good documentaries that I can watch or whatever. Structure your shit, man. Yeah. The key is for us to stop using these mobile phones in the way they're intended for us to use them. Stop using social media as some kind of research tool, some kind of university, when it's not. That's not to say there's not good information online. Take it offline, but then get offline and go and do your research in the background. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's all that I wanted to say to you guys today. And it might sound oversimplified, but it's really that simple. Stop relying on these phones, man. Don't be an android. Say no. Yeah? Stop putting your information on all these forms. Yeah, they want us to give our race, whether we're married, yeah, whether we got children. Yeah, they want to know what color your shit is, man. Like, stop it, cut it out, tell them no. Yeah? And that's the end of the transmission, guys. Peace.